Hey guys, welcome back to Melissa's Healthy Lifestyle video. So today y'all, I'm going to be cooking. I am making breaded chicken with macaroni and cheese, and I'm going to be seasoning this with some adobo, seasoned salt, onion powder, onion powder, seafood seasoning, and some sazon. And then also seasoning with some garlic powder. Okay, so let's get started. So first thing you're gonna do first is I'm going to start on the chicken. And also you're gonna need some eggs. Okay, so first thing you're gonna get is a bowl for the wet and the dry. So I'm gonna mix the eggs in this little container, and then start. So I'm gonna put this to the side, and I'm gonna cut this first. Move these eggs over here, and you're gonna need a really good cutting board. So you're gonna take your chicken and make sure that you wash your hands. I am actually gonna do that first, so hold on. Always wash your hands. So hands washed, and now we're gonna take your chicken breast and your knife, and please be careful when you're dealing with knives. You don't want to cut yourself. So I'm gonna cut this in the middle. Cutting this because this makes a lot. Gotta apply this again. This does make a lot. Then you're gonna cut this into strips. Cut this into strips, and it's gonna look like this. And make sure that you cut it into strips, or any kind of strip. Cut them into strips like this. You're gonna do the same thing with the other piece of chicken. Cut it, and you're just gonna butterfly it like this. Cut it in the middle, and just keep on cutting these. And if there's any like fat on it, just get rid of it. And cut this into strips, because it makes a lot if you cut it into strips. Just cut these into strips, and these will cook a lot faster. Make sure that you cut all the fat out. And cut this in half. Strips. And now we're gonna get to our seasoning now. We're gonna start with some adobo, which you can use this on anything: hamburgers, fish, steak, chicken wings, meats, ground beef, turkey. Make sure you season it very, very well, and make sure your hands are clean. And season this. You don't want to add too much of this because this is very, very salty, so just add enough. We want to live longer. So, and then you're going to take your seafood seasoning. I recommend, if you are allergic to any type of seasoning, you can just use like garlic salt, garlic powder, onion powder. Just use just like a little bit, not too much. You don't want to over season this because it'll come out a little too salty. So just season enough, but season it well. Using a little bit of seafood seasoning. And then we're gonna take our seasoned salt. Just use just enough. Don't use too much. Just eyeball it. Eyeball it. That way you can see. Okay, and then you're gonna get your 2 packs of sazon. You can find these in the Goya section where all like the beans and stuff is in that aisle. So 2 packs of this will do you just fine. And always make sure that you wash your hands. I'm sorry. Make sure that you wash your hands with some soap because you don't want any bacteria traveling. It's very important not to have bacteria travel. Always. Okay. And another thing I want to let you know is that I posted my first weight loss story on my channel. If you guys want to go see that video, you guys can. It's about a 4-minute video of how it all started and how I began. You guys can go watch that video. Okay, so once you wash your hands, they're dry. Now we're gonna get started on the breading and the egging. So you're gonna put your breadcrumbs in the bowl. I'm using breadcrumbs. These, you can use the Italian ones. Any kind of breadcrumbs will do. Just make sure you just put like enough, not too much, but just enough to coat it. Just enough, just to coat it. And this should be enough. Make sure you just add just enough. And then you're going to add some garlic powder in the seasoning and the breadcrumbs. And then you're going to add your garlic powder. Not too much. Like enough. And then you're going to start on your breading. Let me just season this real quick. Toss this in. Let me wash my hands. I'll be back. Always wash your hands. And then we're going to grab butter. I'm using the country butter. Using that. And then we're going to get started on our egging. So you're going to take a little bowl and take your egg. Take about maybe 3 eggs. I think should be fine. I think should be alright. So take about 3 eggs. And you're gonna crack them into your bowl. Oops, sorry. Crack them. It may kind of look like I'm gaining all this weight back, but I'm not. Because if you start to gain all of that weight back again, then like your stomach is gonna start to like expand, and then all that weight's gonna come back. We don't want that. Okay, then I'm gonna wash my hands again. Hold on, sorry. And then you're gonna whisk. I'm beat your eggs. You're going to use a fork. Mixing them in this big bowl because that little small one wasn't going to do it. Beat it really, really well. Okay, once that's nicely beaten, and now you're going to start on your dry and your wet ingredients. Take a piece of chicken, dip it into the egg. Dip it into the egg. Make sure it's nice and coated in the egg. Put it inside of your breadcrumbs. In the breadcrumbs. Make sure you, and then you're gonna put it on a plate. Let me move this butter over here. Put it on the plate and then keep on repeating the same process. So always keep one hand for wet and one hand for dry if you're gonna do like season, like breading and stuff. So take this chicken here, do the same thing and repeat. Put it on a plate and keep on repeating. You can put multiple inside of the bowl if it works a little faster for you. Sorry, y'all, if you hear barking in the background, those are the dogs. They are always loud. So then you're gonna put all of this inside of the breadcrumbs, season all of that. Season all of this. Make sure you got enough seasoning on both. And then put it on a plate. Put it on a plate. And then you're going to repeat the same process. Breadcrumbs. Season them really, really well. Show you guys. And it basically depends what type of meat you guys, you can use like chicken wings, you can use like any type of like meat you like. And then you're gonna put these on the plate. And then you're gonna repeat the same thing. Roll them inside the egg mixture. And just roll them in the egg. And then, if you need more breadcrumbs, you can pour some more breadcrumbs. If you're sure, just give me 1 second and wash my hands. You can add some more breadcrumbs if you feel like it's necessary. Just add a little bit more breadcrumbs. It's fine. You just keep on repeating the same process. And then put these on the plate. Keep stacking them. And make sure you guys always clean up after you cook, because nobody needs a messy kitchen. Make sure you always clean up after. And then mix them in the rest of the egg mixture like this. And see, just mix them. And put them in the breadcrumbs. Like that. Then just mix them in. So So I got the breadcrumbs. Sorry, y'all, if you hear a lot of noise in the back. That's my brother upstairs in his room singing. And just stack these on top of the plate. And then, guys, I'm gonna clean up here and then I'll be right back. Okay, guys, I am back. I just got done cleaning up. I just got done cleaning up my mess. Because that is what it's called, cook and clean after. Anybody got time for no dirty kitchen? So you're gonna take your butter. It takes a little bit of butter. Take about that much. I'm using a big old pan. And let me just show y'all. I got the big old pan. I got the chicken over there, all ready to go. So now we're waiting on this is for this to get melted. Always make sure that you have wait for this to melt. And then here, y'all, is all the chicken, nice and breaded. Make sure that this is getting melted enough. Put it just a little bit high. Make sure I have enough butter. You can never go wrong with too much butter. But just make sure that you just have enough. So, and the mac and cheese is already done ahead. Hold on, let me clean this dirty pan. Let me bring it out over here. Okay, so I'm just cleaning up a dirty pan here. Make sure that you clean up after. I already cleaned up afterwards, but there was just a pan sitting here that I was using earlier. Always make sure you clean up. Always make sure you cook and clean after. Using a sponge real quick. Wipe stuff down. Clean up after. Always gotta clean up your mess. Never leave your kitchen dirty. Always keep it clean when you're cooking. Just wiping down some stuff here. Move y'all over here. Clean up everything after. So the butter's melting in the pan. It's melting. And make sure that this is getting melted. Take the pan, make sure it's nice and hot. As you can see, I'm about to drop in the chicken. And then you're going to start dropping the chicken. You gotta wait for it to get a little bit more hot. Don't ever add your meat in, always prepare to get hot. We have to wait for this to get nice and hot so I can drop in chicken. Make sure that Okay. So this is starting to get hot. Now you're going to drop your chicken in. When you drop your chicken in, and this pan is nice and big, so it's going to fit enough. So now you add enough. And this pan is nice and big, so it's going to fit. It's going to fit. It's going to fit about that many pieces. About that much, because it's a big old pan, so. And then you're going to add a little more butter into it. Make sure that ain't enough butter, so this is going to be nice and cooked through. And then you're going to cover. You're going to put this butter in the refrigerator. And then you're going to let this cook in. You're going to cover this up. You can use a plate. I'm not going to use a plate, excuse me. Pan, top, cover this. We'll let that cook. And then we're going to put the rest of this in the refrigerator until that batch gets done. And then, let me show y'all what I cleaned up. Cook and clean. Cook and clean after you season. That's how. And then we got the food on the stove. Cooking. It's cooking away. And then I'm going to come back with a part 2.